All right. You're all set, right?
Yep, yep, yep.
Okay, sweet. Okay, so we have first map Lightshade, then Jag, then Romanticide. Awesome. Get into Lightshade.
Beautiful. And we got two players near and dear to our hearts. We've seen plenty of their action.
Oh yeah. E-Legacy recently joined Legion too, so
I
I know I've been
noticed,
seeing
yeah.
even more of him than usual.
Hmm. Maybe I'll get back on the ladder and make it hard for him.
Yeah. All right,
Oh,
and we
he's
are
got
ready.
ready, yeah.
This is almost smooth, almost too too smooth. I don't know how to handle it.
Alright.
You ever have that
Just
problem?
just fill me in before we get right into it. As we load in, what tournament is this? What bracket are we at?
So right now, we're in round 5 of the Gauntlet, and this is the open stage. And so the cool thing is, like with the Swiss format, these two players kind of like need to win this round to stay in because they're like right around the cutoff. Whoever loses here, it looks like probably will not make it to the playoffs.
Fair
You want to
enough.
start
You
us off?
started off. Oh,
So,
I got it. Yeah, I'll do it. I'll do it. We're good. In the bottom right hand side, we have our green Zerg player representing Team All In. It is Wizard.
and in the upper left-hand corner, representing the home team, Team Legion, it is the Red Protoss E Legacy. All right.
And before we get right into it, is the best of.
Best of 3.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay. Perfect. I didn't want to get over overexcited. You know, if we're like 2-0, I'm like, oh, this could go to 5.
Right. Yeah, it's something we've all been known to do.
So already some very interesting things going on. Just in terms of early meta play, Legacy trying to come in for the hatch block, but Wizard, knowing that that is usually the case, gets his drone out there early. Actually puts down a 16 hatch.
Look pretty standard for me from Legacy though. Besides that, right?
It looks pretty standard. I mean, it's one of those things like if you can catch it, it's an added bonus to just deny that hatchery in the natural base location.
Yeah.
And it's more so for our viewers, those who aren't maybe at this level of play, but we see this all the time on ladder. I don't know about you, Volnox, but if I'm going for a 17 hatch against a Protoss, I usually get blocked.
Oh yeah, yeah. I don't even. I always go 16 hatch now, and sometimes like going 16 hatch, I'm still getting blocked. Maybe like
Like
almost half the time.
they've adjusted a little bit too.
Yeah, they definitely have.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So the meta is ever shifting, even in the slightest ways. That being
Yeah.
one of them.
Now, to be honest, given that we've seen these players before, if I remember correctly, I think we usually see from E Legacy like Robo Bay instead of Stargate, right? No,
Mm,
I stand corrected. Either that or he changed it up because he is
no,
going Stargate.
yeah, yeah. I think maybe he also predicts that Wizard might know
Yeah,
what is up. And I mean, I really think the Stargate is a strong opener as long as you're not getting lane flooded. Because the only kind of pressure that could come after the fact as a rush would be some kind of roach, Ravager all in which case, Void Rays aren't bad to have when you're defending. Um, but from here on out, it looks pretty standard. There are 4 lanes on the other side of the map. They're going to take a look. They're going to get owned by these Adepts, giving 2 of them up for free. But hey, in the grand scheme of things, I don't think it'll matter too much.
Just doing a little bit of scouting there mostly. And that's
Hmm.
one of the reasons why I like the Stargate opening because it lets you do a little bit of pressure without losing the Void Ray. Get some scouting in. And Wizard already has some spore crawlers going up. Maybe even a little bit early almost. So he should be well prepared.
Yeah, we see that Void Ray just scouting around for those overlords, and
Hmm.
Wizard's done well to just pull his overlords out of the range. It kind of sucks. Like, you might not think it's a big deal to the viewers out there, but losing one or two overlords in the beginning of the game is very detrimental. Later in the game, not as much of a big deal, but at this phase, yeah, it definitely makes a big impact. We do
Oh yeah.
see Wizard, I think he's doing everything correctly. Like, everything is as it should be. The lair is on the way on time. Spores in the base, and now he's getting into his tech, which Volnox seems to be Roach Baneling.
Roach Payment. Now that's so we see Zealot speed or charge on the way for Legacy. Um, and Banelings are good against Zealots. It's just that every time you trade,
You're
you lose the
losing more.
Banelings. Yeah.
Hmm. Yeah, you're absolutely right.
So I'd be curious
I
to see how many Banelings he actually makes. I guess.
Yes, yes. And then obviously he's slapped down both his +1 attack and +1 carapace, or
Hmm.
sorry, +1 ranged. I almost misspoke there. Which is pretty novel. I don't think, I don't know, do you see this often, Momox?
Getting the +1.
Like, specifically the Roach Baneling with double attack upgrade.
Yeah. No. Not really. No. I don't. I don't. It makes sense, I guess, like not to go Carapace, but usually you would go. I think like +1 melee then range. But I don't know. I guess it depends on. Okay, here comes a ton of charge lots to this third base.
This is, to be honest, a quite lethal attack. This is actually disgusting because
Yeah.
even if he had banelings, there's more zealots than there are banelings here. This it's just one of those very sharp timing attacks. It is a two base all in, and he basically pocketed all his gateways. They weren't scouted, so
And
you
these
see
Banes.
they're kind of
Oh,
struggling.
that was a big Baneling hit though.
Great baneling hits, but with
Not
the
enough.
yeah, with the baneling nest taken out, it couldn't snowball into a defense at all. So a very well timed attack. I don't know what to tell you besides his army value was like quadruple when he attacked.
Yeah. Yeah, it was.
So definitely one of those situations. Maybe if Wizard had scouted that there were six gates that were made, it would signal more of an all-in. But it again, it is very difficult, especially with the Stargate opener. You can see how the meta's kind of it plays into itself. You get the Stargate, so there's no vision from the overlords, and after that, you throw down like six gateways on top of the two you already have, and it's pretty lethal. I'm not gonna lie, it's pretty lethal. If any Protoss players are watching, this is how you get out of Diamond. So next map is going to be Jugnatha, LE.
Okay, sorry, just balancing out. So I just got a little bit of word that maybe turned down my volume just a little bit, maybe turn yours up. So I was just tweaking that. Okay, so yeah, next map, Jag.
I will shove my mic into my mouth.
I don't. It might just be the way I have it balanced. It's okay.
I actually normal microphone died on me last week, so I've been using a headset which has a mic on it. Um, it obviously isn't as high quality, but hopefully I get a replacement,
Yeah.
and I'll be back to my loud and obnoxious self.
Back to that those glorious tones that we're used to.
Yes,
Yeah.
yeah, all the Zerg wine will be in crystal clear quality.
All right,
All
and
right,
players are ready for game number 2 on Jag. Let me switch this back over.
beautiful, beautiful.
Just
Beaumont's,
checking
I'm
the
gonna
chat
let
now.
you take this
Okay,
one away.
I was just checking the chat now. What's up, Ultra and Alex saying I thought Wizard was good. So the critics are in.
Listen, if you didn't scout 8 gateways and you were just going about your business as a Zerg, you're gonna die. At any level, alright?
All right, spawning into the upper right-hand corner from Team All Inspiration, the green Zerg down 1 game Wizard.
In the bottom left-hand side, representing Team Legion, it is a Legacy Dirty Protoss player. It is a best of 3, folks, and the Legacy is currently up 1-0. So Wizard has something to prove here
Oh,
this game. And to be quite honest, Volnox, I'm sure he's going to do the most scouting this game.
yeah, I think he's probably kicking himself for that. Like whenever you don't scout an all incoming and you just kind of get hammered, um, there's no doubt he's thinking about that, especially against a dirty Protoss player.
Yeah, yeah. No, to be honest, I wouldn't say any Zerg player. Like, there's no Zerg player who hasn't been in a position where an unrealistic amount of charge lots show up at your third and you die. It's just one of those things that happens. And
Yeah.
perhaps unless you were thinking about it from the get-go, you would have to be aggressively scouting for that. Like, you would have to be trying to like sneak lings into the main base or get like just throw overlords into the
Yeah.
main. I did mention last game that Wizard, I complimented him. I gave him a pat on the back for getting the overlords out of there
Hmm.
before the void rays got them, but it was actually detrimental.
Yeah, I'll be curious to see, like, so he's sending this one. So, like, you always put this Overlord here in your natural to scout to see if there's going to be a cannon rush. And
Yes.
usually you can move it around maybe like a minute and a half. So this one he did move like right around a minute and a half across the map. So I think his
Yes.
plan is to just sacrifice an Overlord here in a couple minutes, which is smart.
Yeah, and you got to realize, guys, that at first you might think, why would I risk an Overlord? And then you realize there could be 18 Zealots in your base. So it's definitely well worth uh, getting the full scout at the cost of an Overlord. You just kind of preemptively make the replacement knowing it's going to be sacrificed. And that's usually what you see the pros do.
Glory to the Daylum.
Just taking a look at Wizard's Vision now. Of course, it's always nice to have this Overlord here over top of the natural. So he'll see two gateways again, but nothing out of the ordinary so far from a Legacy, who might not all in this time. Does have a Twilight Council, almost finished though.
Yep, there's a Twilight Council at home. There's no proxies on the map. So a
Hmm.
Legacy definitely playing, let's call it conservatively. Uh, but again, he can go whichever way he wants with this. He does throw the Robo
There's the
down,
Robo, yeah.
so this could swing into a couple things. He decided to go with 2 Adepts. He's got a third on the way, so to me it seems like it's going to be some sort of Adept pressure.
Mm.
And actually, just as I said that, the Adept upgrades, the Glaives upgrade is on the way. So that does signal this will be an Adept attack. I assume with a warp prism. There's no real
Ooh.
efficient way to do it without that.
Yeah, Spire on the way for Wizard.
Mm.
Uh,
And I don't, I don't know if this is a blind counter. I would like to think it's a blind counter. But you can see that Wizard
mhm.
is just going for a 2 base Spire play. So I think he had this in the back of his mind before the game even started that he was going to go for it.
Yeah.
But conveniently, it's going to play very well into this Adept pressure. Mm,
Yeah,
Given the
as
Warp Prism now being made, Volnox, what
yeah.
do you think? It's going to be a complete shutdown, yeah?
I I think so, as long as he gets the mutas out in time. Um, it seems like he is though. The Spire's like 80% done. And let's see, where's that prism? The prism's just now finishing. I think he's gonna have this out in time. Yeah.
hmm And I think now the ball lands in a Legacy's court. I personally think he's scouted enough to understand what is going on. There's no third base. So as a Zerg, what two base plays could you do? And I think he's even scouted, there's no roaches out yet. There's 2 gas taken at the natural. He must
Mhm.
have an inkling of what is exactly going on here. He is making an immortal, so I'm not too sure if he knows what's up.
Yeah.
Um, this might be tricky, Volnox.
Let's take a look. It says that he did scout the Spire, but I don't think he clicked on it because no, he did not. That was actually the spawning pool he scouted. So no, he has not seen the Spire. But he knows about the mutas now.
Yeah, he definitely knows about the mutas now, but there's absolutely nothing here to really deal with it. One stalker will not cut it. He's got a full warp in of stalkers back at home as he scouted the muta, so definitely caught off guard here.
Mhm.
And now we're gonna see a link flood in the front while the mutas try to harass the main base.
Stalker's in position though.
Oh no!
Pick off one
What are the
muta, not two.
mutas? hmm
Okay, get this free adept there. But
Yeah,
so far, uh, not able to get the Ling run by through is significant.
yeah, he's got a ton of adepts specifically to deal with these lings. A War Prism is about to get sniped north of the main base for Legacy. I think he was trying to sneak it out, but unfortunately the Mutalisks were right there. Now it comes to the situation where, yes, Wizard is behind technically in his third, but he's more or less sieging a Legacy into his main. And he won't be able to expand freely without dealing with a whole buttload of forces.
Yeah. 7.5 minutes into the game, Wizard only has 40 workers. This is gonna be a scrappy game. He's going for the third now, but here comes the legacy.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. As Zerg, you typically tend to throw units into the army until it starts to work for you, but at a low economy, you actually want to be more efficient, which typically doesn't come with the Lings. Um, Here we see Mutas picking off 11 workers immediately. Meanwhile, Legacy is at Wizard's Natural. There's sort of a base trade going on, but how fast can each each opponent kill their respective bases?
Yeah, 22 probes have died, but now the legacy has gotten into the heart of Wizard's base. Spire going down.
Yeah, it's probably a good idea sniping that Spire. It's his only high tier unit. Muta's coming out and immediately being picked off.
Ooh, we have a burrow here from Wizard. Burrowing drones at home.
So in a base trade economy, I think here the Legacy's just managed to clean up the lair, but he has so many buildings that he's gonna have to take out. I think that in the sense, yes, he recalls immediately, realizing he will not win the base trade, and now it's going to be an actual scrap.
Oh
And
wow.
to be honest, there's more than
Yeah.
enough utilus here to deal with all
Yeah.
stakes.
Wizard's gonna even this thing back up.
It was a decent attempt to try to recall home, but I think he did not calculate it in time to literally even defend this. So Wizard ties the series up in quite a display of skill there.
I think that was an accidental
And all
non-GG because he just lost
yeah,
all his buildings. The game just ended.
you might be right. Yeah, you might be right.
That's kind of funny there.
So what a
Okay.
scrappy start
Yeah.
to this series.
Awesome to have Legacy set 0 IQ base trade from my side.
It
I don't,
happens. It
yeah,
happens.
I think that teleport home did him in, right? Like the recall, I mean, kind of split the army in half. That really sort of killed his chances to win a fight there.
It definitely lowered his chances, but I think his chances were already below 50 when
Yeah,
he had moved across the map. It was definitely risky to go for it, but again, he had no idea where his opponent was at in terms of economy, whether he was far ahead or close. As the casters, we knew exactly what was going on. To be honest, I thought the Protoss was sitting in a good position. Moving out might have been detrimental just because, I mean, he had the tech advantage. He could have teched into something like Archons themselves would have countered everything.
oh yeah,
But
Archons would have been perfect.
and he had the Twilight early, right? Like he had what he needed. But again, when you don't know how far ahead
Hmm.
your opponent is, only we knew that
Yeah,
Wizard had 40 drones. Sorry, only
and
we knew that.
like you mentioned, and then we looked at his vision and everything. E Legacy did not scout that spire until the mutas were actually out, so he didn't know about it until he saw the mutas. So pretty hard to make the right transition in those
Definitely hard
circumstances.
to, yeah, definitely hard to regroup yourself
Yeah,
in a panic. All that happened within a couple minutes, folks. So that's
yeah.
the way she goes.
And then also it's 2 games in a row where scouting was like the primary swing. Okay, spawning
Absolutely.
into the upper left-hand corner are Green Zerg from Team All In Wizard. You know, it's
I apologize.
that's
In the
okay.
bottom right hand side, it is our red Protoss player representing Team Legion. It is E Legacy.
All right, so I got the score right this time. We have a
It is
1-1.
a tie game in the
Yeah.
best of three. Yep.
Only had it wrong for about 30 seconds last game, the very beginning. Not too bad by my standards.
Yeah. No,
Um,
I like the way things are going. It has definitely been scrappy, Volnox.
oh yeah, yeah, it's been a fun series to watch so far. Um, and it's cool that Legacy showed 2 different strategies there. Kind of makes you guess like what the Protoss is gonna do next, just like from the Zerg's perspective.
Yeah, and Wizard, again, I'm purely like I'm almost 100% certain he blind countered E Legacy because he was just going for the two base Buda,
Hmm.
which ended up paying off.
And that is a tough blind counter because they go Stargate and get Phoenixes. It can be tough if they do
You
scout it.
just lose, yeah.
Yeah.
Even even just the fact that he didn't go all in with his adepts,
Hmm.
put Wizard in a tough spot. Because then it was on him to go attack the Protoss, who's tied up with you two base to two base, right?
Yeah. No, absolutely, and that's yeah, that's it's kind of impressive for a Zerg to win 2 base to 2 base.
I
against a
think like
Protoss.
yeah, that being said, I think like Legacy had the advantage,
Yeah,
or I won't dare to say how far ahead the advantage was, but he had the advantage there, and I think he just misstepped by going out on the map and trying to like the base trade was probably the best thing that could have happened for Wizard there,
yeah.
especially with a billion lings and like 20 mutalisks.
Okay, and Wizard does take his third this time.
Yes, on time. So there's will not be the two base pressure we saw last game of any sort. Meanwhile, we're waiting to see what kind of tech that Legacy will go for. It just looks like he's currently probing up aggressively. He's got Chrono on both his Nexuses.
Goes
This
back to
next
Stargate.
eye,
Gonna take that
you
in the
know what?
natural.
It's super popular and super
Yeah,
effective, right? Like, what
yeah.
does Zerg have that shoots up besides Queens until there's a lair out? And the lair you won't see till about maybe 5.5 minutes.
Yeah. It's definitely the build that I'm seeing the most on the ladder. And like I said, I think there's a lot of advantages to it. Sometimes you can get like some really awesome harass with just a void ray or two. Um,
Mm-hmm.
Also get a good scout most of the time. See Wizard Overlord going into Legacy's main.
Yeah, he scouted a couple things here. Saw the Twilight Council. He's got the double gas on the high ground, but he does not see. Um,
Mm,
well, I take that back. He does see the
yeah.
Stargate, but the depths are actually at in his base. Maybe he's a little distracted for now. There isn't really much here to deal with these. They're gonna get a couple of workers for free here.
3 drones there.
Yeah, the Lings were on the other side of the map watching for, I guess, an early third from the Protoss. So 3 drones do go down. The Adepts get out scot-free, so no problem there.
Okay, Wizard's producing a lot of units right now. Um,
Yeah.
14 lings on the way.
And an explosion of gateways for our friend E-Legacy, which kind of signals that this will be the timing
Oh
attack.
yeah.
Good thing for Wizard, he's got his Overlord position right over the Robotics Bay and the Twilight, so he sees the upgrades being produced.
Still has
We
that
don't see the
Overlord there.
War Prism. Yeah, it surprisingly didn't get sniped already. It basically has done its job. It saw the War Prism leave, and I think
Yeah.
this should basically indicate that there's some kind of aggression at the least on the way.
2 adepts coming into Wizard's third. Legacy doing a good job being active with these adepts. Of course, as I say that, there they go.
Yeah, looks like they're going to get a couple more drones here, which is really annoying because, as you mentioned earlier, Wizard is actually preparing a force for defense. He's not really droning up. So again, we see him at that below 40 drone count, which isn't really much of an economy in the terms of a Zerg player.
Wizard has a lot of units ready for this attack. 40
So
lings, basically.
fortunate. Yeah, a couple of Roaches immediately getting surrounded by the charge pods. But the bulk of the forces now come in. The Queens are putting in work on the Void Ray.
Will
It
there
does
be
get
another
taken
round?
out.
Oh.
I'd say
Legacy.
overall, good defense. He's well ahead now that Legacy has thrown the bulk of his army.
Ooh.
And even the War Prism getting sniped there, Volnox, I think as a Zerg player, you gotta be giving yourself high fives and pats on the back for that.
Oh yeah, that totally shuts down the push. And now we have Wizard double the supply of E-Legacy. Just so prepared for that two. Basically all that's a 2 base all in. And
Yeah,
Wizard couldn't have
absolutely.
been more prepared.
So Wizard absolutely picking the right time to stop droning up, and he committed all of his resources into making the army supply, which he needed to hold off that attack. And as you can see, there's zero Void Rays, there's no aerial threat anymore. He's fighting with Probes, with Zealots, with Adepts, with Stalkers, but they are definitely not going to be enough here. Putrid Acid being thrown at everything, Ravagers popping out, they're going to start throwing down some Biles as well, but I don't think Legacy can do much here. Volnox, that is GG.
That is GG, and that was a nice comeback from Wizard. Started out losing the first game, takes the next two. Blazing fast 350 APM for me, Legacy, through the whole series.
GG, well played by both players. I love seeing these guys play.
Yeah.
Unfortunate, only one of them could continue on to the next round, but that is the way she goes.
Legacy's saying there, I know the same build doesn't work twice, and I think that kind of is what happened there. And Wizard saying, like you said, he got the scout off that time.
A great scout. Actually,
Yeah.
made sure an Overlord died in that base, right?
Oh
That's
yeah.
how you properly scout. You make sure it dies in there.
That was a good series to start us off with. Um, let's see what we have next here.
Let me just make sure I host you here, Volnox.
Okay.
Alright, perfect.
Appreciate that, man. Um, taking a look at our replays here, which actually, by the way, so looking at the points so far, so like this is round 5.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so Wizard had 5 points and 2 more points. He should be safe to advance, but like I said, I think E-Legacy with only 3 points right now probably eliminated.
Okay. Which I guess makes sense logically. If both these guys were fighting to stay in, yeah.
Oh, wait, no. Actually, I was looking at it. I'm sorry. I was looking at last week's standings. Yeah, okay, so both of them came into this game with 5 points. Both of them were 2 and 2 because they get 1 point for each map score. And so yeah, so like the top 12 advance, and going into this, they were in ninth and 10th place. So yeah, that's the cool thing I think about the Swiss format is that it kind of like forces their like it forces games like this at certain rounds, right? Like in the fifth round, people are, like you're matched against someone with the same record. So like in the fifth round, there are a bunch of games that matter because the
Okay,
loser's
yep.
going to get
Mm-hmm.
eliminated. Um, so that's kind of cool. Let's see what other games we have. So the rest of these will actually be from round 4.
Sounds good.
Let's try to find some Zerg here. Let's do let's see. Okay, let's do Tortle versus Alex. And do you want to do Maurice Moss versus Co? That would be a TVZ.
Sure, yeah.
Okay, cool. So while we're waiting on me to do that real quick, how have things been going for you, man?
Things are going pretty well for me personally. Twitch wise, I haven't been able to stream as much as I would like to.
Yeah.
Just been busy, and I feel bad to be honest, because usually I like to at least be consistent with it. It makes me feel kind of kind of like I'm not taking it seriously, or like I'm letting somebody down. Who knows? I don't know who I'm letting down. I'm letting you down, Molnox.
Well, all is forgiven.
But
No.
I think come February I should have more of a strict schedule in terms of just when I could find time for it.
Yeah.
So, but other than that, man, like the StarCraft tourneys, I love to do, of course, it can be hard when you're doing it for like 7 hours or something.
Oh yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
but I do enjoy doing it. So always, especially for people I enjoy working with, like yourself, and a few of the people from Team Legion, they host really good tournaments as well. So I hope to get involved again, uh, like I was last year. But I guess it really depends on how much action there's gonna be. I will be available most of February, so hopefully more StarCraft, and it's great to see where people started and where they've come to now. Not often you'll see people improve in this game. It's actually difficult in that sense. Like if you aren't actively trying to get better, you
Yeah.
just won't.
No, you're definitely right. And like I kind of got a little bit busy myself and I wasn't able to practice as much. And like I definitely like when I got back on the ladder, I lost like 300 points or something like that. Fell back down to like the middle of Diamond 3. And like it happens so quickly.
Yeah, I was playing like I'll hop on and then I'll click to unranked, right? Because hey, I haven't played in weeks, so probably shouldn't just jump into a ranked match. Then I'll play on ranked match, get completely blindsided by like an early attack, manage to hold it off because
Yeah.
like your muscle memory is starting to kick in. And then after the game, I'll look back and I'll see the guys like 400 MMR below me, and I'll be like, okay.
Yeah.
I almost died to this man.
I know that feeling. But I was also gonna say, no, that it's awesome to have you back in casting and everything, man. So definitely like no pressure, but when you have time, love having you in. And
Absolutely.
yeah, well so this is so Turtle versus Alex, who's in the chat. Um, Turtle's playing random, and Alex is Terran, of
Interesting.
course. So don't know what Turtle will get. Hopefully we'll get some TVZs.
Alex
Um,
knows what Turtle would get. Is
yeah.
Alex here? Do we have Alex in chat? Sometimes he's in chat. He
I did get
is.
a peek. I'm not gonna say anything, but
He is in chat. All right, cool. Let's hop right into
let's do it. If not, we'll be doing a little bit of guest casting.
it.
Okay, so this is round 4. Um, and I'll go ahead and start. So spawning into the bottom left-hand corner from the University of Michigan, the yellow random player Tortle.
In the top right hand side, we have from Team Easy Dunk.
Hmm.
It's Alex Kidd with two D's because one wasn't enough.
One is never enough. The first one was so good, I wanted another.
Alex loves D. I'm looking at Alex's what do you call that? Like the little
Yeah.
clan image.
Oh yeah.
I'm not too sure what to say, but
Yeah.
Easy Dunk is an up and coming team. Everybody, keep an eye out for that image.
By the looks of that, he's thinking of adding a third.
Yeah, 3Ds in it.
Oh yeah. Yeah, no, Alex did tell me that Easy Dunk was the hottest clan in North America, and I don't know what exactly he meant by hottest, but
I'm gonna have to reach out to Alex,
yeah,
just in case he means like they have a lot of girls, because I'm interested in joining that clan.
It was pretty ambiguous, man. I mean, let your imagination run wild.
It's running. It's running, Bulldog. It's quarantine up here in Canada. I don't know what to tell you.
Yeah, yeah.
Jesus.
I don't blame you.
All
Um,
right, so
oh.
pretty standard. Have you seen anything weird?
No, this is pretty early command center from Alex Kidd up here in the high ground. But that I don't know that that's necessarily non-standard, and Tortle sees it right away. He drops a Nexus, so looks
I
like
would
we're
agree with you. It is it, it, it's standard in the sense that Alex thinks this Protoss is gonna early expand,
right.
which most Protoss do. But again, you're right. It's greedy in the sense that if he was being cheesed, he would be screwed because his factory would be so late, or the
Yeah,
supply
yeah.
would be late. Like he's cutting a corner here, and it does cost him something,
It's surprising that
which
he.
could be punished. Sorry,
Yeah,
go ahead.
no. It's just surprising that Alex opened that way. To be honest, like I don't think it's gonna cost him much really because Tortle's not all-inning or anything like that from the looks of
Yes.
it. Maybe
Yes.
we'll see, but that he decided to play that way against a random player, you know, um,
You make a good point. You make a good point.
you kind
He
of
did.
expect him to cheese.
I'm just trying to recall. The beginning of the game, he sent his SCV almost immediately to
That's
make
true.
sure
Yeah,
he knew what he was dealing with. But I guess
that's true.
it's pretty risky still.
Yeah, yeah.
The adept shades into the main. Will it complete? It does. Will it get anything? One SCV. Wait, SCVs take 3
Ooh.
hits?
And Marines by the looks of it.
Sorry, I don't play Terran too often.
Yeah,
Alex is in chat. Sorry, Ultra Mega was just asking. Alex in chat. Alex is in chat. Somebody
yeah.
at Alex. Let him know he's supposed to be on stage right now. Tell him to get
Where
his
are you,
ass in
Alex?
here.
We got questions. You
Yeah.
got some explaining to do. No, not
Um.
yet.
But so far, you can see that Protoss doing the Protoss thing, chronoing out probes. He's almost 8 probes ahead. And sure enough, Alex is trying to get his own natural saturated. But as a Terran player, you basically try to get your worker count up while maintaining a healthy army that can defend, because you could just die to anything.
Yeah, as a matter of fact, you mentioned that Tortle only has 2 stalkers right now. So Tortle, I would say, is playing seemingly like both
Greedy.
players greedy, but yeah,
So he did drop Widow Mines into the natural.
oh,
One
I
gets
missed
a
that.
stalker, and
Sorry
a
about
few
that.
probes go down. No, you're fine. A few probes did go down, but it wasn't the value you would be looking for with a 3 Widow Mine drop. He's being cheeky here, pretending to drop into the main, but the Widow Mines have already blown their load, so they will not be able to blow another.
Not that quickly.
No, not that quickly.
Oh, here's a harassment here from Tortle. 3 Zealot Warping into
I
Alex's main.
really like this. It is quite inexpensive, with the possibility of doing a lot of damage.
3 SCVs. A little bit of friendly fire there on some Marines. 4th. Yeah, not bad for only 3 Zealots.
Not bad at all. Just the distraction, the forcing the army back in case there was some kind of harassment, anything like that. It does matter. As long as he doesn't lose his War Prism, I think
Exactly.
it is all worthwhile.
Yeah. As long as we're only losing Zealots.
Yeah. Those guys are meant to die.
Yeah.
I had never met a Zealot in my life that lived to see the end of his
Siege Tank wouldn't be bad here at all. That's a nice pick-off.
Another great pickoff. Wow.
Couple of
Keeping that
Marines.
Siege Tank
Yeah.
count low is one of those big brain things that will help you like 5 minutes later in the game.
Yeah, if you can warp in 3 or 4 zealots and get a siege tank and a couple of marines every time, he would never stop doing it.
Yeah, it is extremely, extremely annoying.
Yeah.
He's taking full advantage of the fact that there are no Vikings being made, as Alex is just double producing medevacs.
Robo Bay on the way for Chortle here. Do you think that's Disruptor or Colossus?
Yeah, absolutely.
I know it's one or the other. I don't know which one I'm expecting for him to make.
I think I would agree with you. It's most likely the Colossus,
You think
especially
Colossus?
seeing
Yeah.
how many Marines are out. He's just now starting to make Marauders. So for the time being, Colossus would be definitely the most beneficial. Another thing that would tie into that is the fact that his War Prism wasn't sniped by Vikings. It just tells you there's no Vikings. I don't know what else to say.
Yeah.
Another Zealot drop, even picks them up.
Nice pickup. Yeah.
He's doing really well to keep that alive. To be honest, I would have lost 2 War Prisms, maybe 3 doing that.
Yeah.
You can
Yep.
see it's pretty even in the work account. I mean, Tortle's obviously still ahead, but he's been doing damage to Alex, and that's why Alex is behind.
Yeah, you're right. And Turtle beginning to pull ahead a little bit in terms of the worker count, but he is
Oh my god,
behind
the
an army
Raven!
supply.
Oh my god, the Raven!
Ooh.
It has 2 health! Okay, so a scouting Raven goes ahead and tanks a bunch of fire. But now we look at this, there's so much bio here, no Colossus in sight yet, just charge lots and stalkers fighting.
Yeah. At the same time, there's harassment going on. There's a battle on 2 fronts.
You make an excellent point. Tons of damage being done in the Terran's main, but here there's no army to deal with this bio force that's just kind of tearing down this third base. Losing a couple probes on the way out as well, but the real bad news is the lack of that third nexus. Charge lots 8.
Ooh. Now that really hurts.
I was gonna say they were able, but they were not.
No.
No, they were just kind of taking a stroll. I think a little bit of a missed micro from Tortle. The fact that he didn't see the Terran army move out really caught him off guard, and now he's losing almost all of his production here. The robo is non-existent. There will be no more Colossus showing up. It's just Zealots, Stalkers, and I guess 20 probes to fight with.
Pulling the probes with the Zealots coming in, and
Yeah.
Alex is going to reposition, or is he going to retreat?
Yeah, I think, either which way, I think Alex took an absolutely solid fight, a great engage for him. The trade was heavily favored for our Terran player. On top of that, before shit got hectic, he just lifted and got out of there after killing 24 more probes.
Yeah.
So things are very, very bad for Tortle.
Yeah, Turtle did have a nice warp in Alex's main during that. Oh. Okay. Alex on unloads his dropships into Turtle's main.
Yeah, the Zealots honestly showing why they are such a strong unit. They have +1/+1. Managed to fight the bulk of the infantry, but alas, it is far too late, man. It's 123 supplied at 38. This is basically a scouting force at this point, doing all the damage.
Yep, and that's going to signal to Alex to group up the rest of the boys here and march across the map.
Yeah, and I think Alex found himself a very niche opportunity at the third. He took it out, killed the army, got directly into the main, killed a bunch of boys. And Portal, I imagine he's just determining what he's gonna do next game at this point, right?
Oh yeah, he's thinking things over, living through some regret. Uh,
Wizard, you're welcome to the
yeah,
cast.
thanks for watching, Wizard. All right, game number 2 is going to be on Jag.
Nice.
All right, let's jump into it. All right, so
All right.
go ahead.
I was about to say the same to you. In the bottom left-hand side, we have our yellow Protoss player from the University of Michigan. It's Turtle.
And in the upper right-hand corner, the blue Terran from Team Easy Dunk, the hottest new team in NA. It's Alex Kidd.
Hot. It's hot. Turtle's from Michigan, right?
I guess he must be.
Or like that's what his.
Yeah,
Name.
yeah,
I was
University of
just
Michigan.
trying to
Yeah,
remember what you said last.
yeah, definitely University of Michigan. I know that's the tag.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Cool.
I guess he
Ooh,
probably.
interesting.
Yeah.
So we have different a different building placement from Turtle. It's one of those I don't care what happens building placements. Um, so in my mind, this just means it's going to be something aggressive.
Let's take a look back at that. Yeah, you're right, because you mean he's not, like, blocking the ramp or anything like that?
Correct.
Right, I got you.
Not too sure what it could be, but he is getting a super early Nexus.
Yeah, so it's just like a confident early Nexus, you know? Not going to block the ramp
Charge
at the
pad.
front. Yeah.
Yeah, and this could be going off of what Alex did last game, right? We saw Alex
Right.
actually put down his CC before Turtle put his Nexus. Alex asks, "Lucky day?" Question mark. Probably notioning towards how early that Nexus was.
Oh, also, I think he, playing random, he got, Protoss twice.
Oh, you're right. I completely forgot. That's more.
Yeah.
that seems more like why he would say that. Yeah, you're right. I think that's what it was. As we see the Reaper go in, the Adept is actually shading out. So this is kind of one of those situations where you might lose a
Oh.
probe or two. Reaper does take a little. Oh no, he actually leaves without
Yeah.
even harassing the probes. Oh, that
There's
can't
the adept.
here.
Will the adept shade into Alex's natural? It does. And tries to deny this command center from finishing, which would be nice.
That's going to be huge. And he does just by the tip of that SCV's nose. The second one will come in, but will it not? Good thing they take 3 hits, Volnox. Broken race. How about you be a real worker and get killed in 2 hits? Coward.
Yeah, how about that?
Yeah. So the Adept does get taken out by that bunker. Second Adept just walking into bunker fire. He loses all his shields. Tries to shade up into the main, but the supply depot will go up. And we're back to where we started. Both players are kind of figuring out what they're doing.
Oh, and
I think Turtle got distracted slightly. His Twilight Council just now going down.
let me put the Twilight in his natural. Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah, and the weird thing was like the Stargate makes sense, but then he threw 2 more gates. Then he went for the Twilight. I mean, you could rearrange them either which way, but I'm curious why he went for. Okay, we got a Phoenix. We got a Phoenix. So this will be interesting. This is a completely different style from what we saw in the last game.
Yeah.
Scouting Adept is eventually taken out. I really respect the early Raven Alex gets.
Yeah.
It just has so much utility. The longer you have a Raven, the more value it will get.
It's good for harassment. In case they do something like a DT, you have that in your back pocket.
Yeah, and you don't know how many games I've seen or casted where there's just an observer in the natural for like 40 minutes.
Yeah, yeah.
So the Hellions drop into the Protoss main here. Let's see what they can do. They come in and defend, but that's not really
Wow.
defensive unit. Medevac going straight to the natural for some more harass. And overall 12 probes killed. I think that is a lot of value.
Yeah,
Even
12.
with the medevac going down.
Yeah, that's gonna make this an uphill battle for Tortle, unless he can make something happen right now. Let's see, he
Yeah.
does have 15 zealots.
And I think you're right. I think you and Tortle both realize the situation, and if he does not pull the trigger and get some serious work done here, he's gonna be, like I said, just fighting from behind for the rest of the game. This is a lot of zealots.
There's so much
here.
stuff here.
Yeah, charge is complete, so he's just gonna lose a shitload of SCVs. Now we look at 14 SCVs lost in total this game, so he's technically evened up what he had lost and some. And with the complete nullification of his natural base, Belnox, I believe our Protoss player is sitting pretty.
Yeah. Now this is... He's gonna have trouble fighting up that ramp.
Yeah, the SCV's
It's super
pole
inefficient.
position, doing
Yeah.
what it can. But again, let's look at how many he lost. 22 SCVs killed after that display of defense. And now we were talking about Tortle having to make a move. Now it's on Alex Kidd to make a move. He's trying to make something happen with these Widow Mines, but it's such a volatile unit to bank your entire survival on, because it could just end up hitting you in the face.
Now, Tortle's gonna take his third in the middle of this. And, yeah, I think he's, probably happy with denying that time at the natural. And now this game is kind of like, I mean, in terms of worker count, it's even. Tortle took a lot of damage, then dealt a lot of damage.
Yeah, both players have their respective advantages when they're down on workers, right? Like, Tortle can just chrono out boys. Alex himself has mules that he can call on. But here comes Tortle again. Another huge assault.
Big mind shot there.
And this is a bio army that doesn't have the same power that it did last game, where he had +1 attack, he had marauders, he had a bunch of medevacs. It's quite the opposite here. We see Tortle with his +1 armor on his units. So those zealots are extra tanky. If you thought they couldn't die before, they're definitely on their way to being promoted into Immortals.
Looks like Alex is going to try to push out.
I mean, he's got to. He's got to put the pressure back on without losing everything. There's not... He can't sit out. No, that's definitely not a good idea against a Protoss player on 3 bases. But what can he do? His upgrades are non-existent. He got his +1 up now. He's actually walking by the Protoss
Yeah,
army. He doesn't see him. I think the medevac sees it.
but now he turns around. Oh, here
Just
comes the...
manages to burrow those mines in time. Huge shots on the Zealots, but they are so tanky still. The infantry finally managing to shoot down a bulk of these forces. The Phoenix even getting shot down here. Volnox looks like
Alex.
disabled returning.
Yeah. I think Alex once again sort of evened the game back up by taking a really good trade. Okay, so economically though, Alex is down 5 workers, but I think even more importantly, Tortle has his third base. I don't think Alex... I don't think he started his third anywhere.
Yeah, and I
No.
don't mean to rub it in either, but Alex, every engagement he took, he lost every medevac he had. So currently he's using
Yeah.
the fresh 2 that he just made. And in terms of
Low energy.
sustainability, yeah, his army has none.
Right. He's gonna need big Widowmine hits. He's been getting them, to be honest with you.
Yeah,
Phoenix
that
is...
last engagement, I don't want to call it luck. I think he managed to see the Protoss army just in time, smacked his Widow Mines into the ground, and took a good fight. That was the first good fight he took.
Phoenix is making sure they pick off that Widowmine.
Widow Mines up way ahead of the army. They burrow. They're going to get a couple shots. Oh, it only hit Terran units there because the Zealot was dead. This is terrible. A huge surround on the Terran units. There are so many Zealots here. He's kiting his heart out, but again, sustainability not present here. The medevac's very low in energy. He's kiting his heart out, but he's going to have to retreat once again. The Phoenix are chasing them down, but they cannot do too much about them. Oh my god, medevac with half full units sniped out of the sky. Another one going to go down right here. Again, we're at 0 medevacs. And you can see how this is kind of snowballing in a reverse direction for Alex as he keeps losing. The only thing he's producing out of his starboards.
And he's down to 24 army supply, and this natural base is almost wide open except for just a couple of Widow Mines and a handful of bio. And a CB.
Yeah. And I think we saw that coming just a minute ago, I think. As he lost way too many medevacs. Not that they were gonna for sure save him, but honestly, that is kind of like a missing piece of your puzzle when you're building a composition like that. There was no tanks, it's just Widow Mines and infantry.
I'm going to try to turn you up a little more. Okay. All right, let's get into game number 3. This will be on Death Aura. Tortle versus Alex. Random versus Terran.
Sorry, I just read what Ultra Mega said. It is so deep in my throat, guys.
Yeah.
It's basically like a cyber implant.
The mic loves it though. Yeah, you know.
Yeah, the mic's
I
enjoying
don't know. I
it,
don't know if
but
the audience, you know.
no, my gag reflex is nowhere good enough to do that.
All right, let's hop in. Try to avoid showing people the time of
Oh
the
yeah,
replay.
yeah. No, good call, good call.
There we go.
I'll try to turn it up. I'll turn it up for the boys, for Ultra Mega, Dave, Wizard. All right, in the top left-hand side, it is our yellow Terran player from University of Michigan. It's Tortle.
And in the bottom right-hand corner, from Team Easy Dunk, supposedly they're pretty hot. I don't know. It's our blue Terran player, Alex Kidd.
Yep.
So,
All right,
okay.
Volnox. I was gonna say, who's your money on?
Well, Tortle not getting his main race this time, so like, you know, already kind of a strike against him.
Correct. Correct. But it is a TVT, which you could say is the most balanced
Yeah, so that means we won't
there
find out
is.
for a while. But I think when the dust settles, I think you have to like Alex's chances.
Yeah, I think Alex just having the, let's call it the home field advantage here.
Yeah,
Definitely feeling a little. I mean, he doesn't know yet, right? Like, he doesn't, he's about to find out. He
right.
doesn't know yet. He's probably like, this guy probably got Protoss again. I'll just do what I did last time. But no, no, my friend, it is actually a Tanks and Vikings game. Surprise! And you can see he's actually doing the same build he did before. He's trying to get the early CC, which can be absolutely punishable in a TVT.
Oh yeah, and Tortle scouts it right away as soon as it starts.
Yeah, good scout by Tortle. Even yeah, I was gonna say just go in there and start causing some civil war.
Yeah, and he has a factory coming, so maybe he will have some way to take advantage of this.
The Reaper does come out. It will
Oh,
get rid of this. But I don't think that's too much of an issue. As you can see on Tortle's side of the map, he is going for a Reaper party.
oh yeah. I wonder what he's gonna do with the factory though. Maybe he'll just go straight up to a starport.
That'd be that'd be interesting to see. That would be interesting
Yeah.
to see.
Okay. So maybe maybe he'll make a liberator. Just do a little Reaper Liberator Hellion sort of super annoying multi-prong. I don't know.
Yeah, I would say this is one of those situations where you're making a potluck army and
Yeah.
you're going to try to micro your way into a victory. The bunker at the natural of Alex Kidd's base could be problematic, but hey, if you're going to have 3 Reapers, and I guess whatever he decides to get from the starport, you don't have to go in through the main base there.
Oh, okay. Could be a Banshee then, since he's making a tech lab.
Uh, interesting,
Or a Raven.
interesting.
Or a Raven.
Well, this is kind of weird because he went for a tech lab on the factory as well.
Yeah, that is odd. That's a Raven.
Um, he is slightly. I don't know. This seems almost like if this harassment doesn't do a lot of damage, he's gonna find himself quite far behind.
Alex picks off the SCVs that are building the supply depot and command center in Turtle's Natural, so that's annoying.
That is a pretty big pick off. He does go back trying to kill it. He does pick off the Reaper. Turtle says lol, but I don't know if that stands for laugh out loud.
Not on the inside.
Not on the inside. So as you can see, Alex, he has a pretty substantial defense here at the natural.
Yeah.
High ground. There's a cyclone here. So it can just kite Reapers infinitely.
Oh yeah, that's bad news.
And Tortle, just because of the opener he went for, he is down in the workers. Opting to get those tech buildings earlier, get the Reapers out earlier. He's put himself slightly behind, and Alex Kidd, I think, defending exactly how he should.
Yeah. And I think we're definitely like past the point where he's gonna be able to make anything happen with a few Reapers and Hellions. Aside
No,
from just
not.
scouting.
Yeah, I agree with you. At this point, they are simply just there to see an army move out or an expansion get put down.
Yeah.
So Tortle playing in the back foot here. He's playing from behind. He's slightly behind in the worker count, slightly behind in his tech. And again, we mentioned this is his off race. So Alex, home field advantage for him.
Yeah, and to be honest, like since it's only about 5.5 minutes into the game, like having 10 more workers than your opponent is kind of a lot. Like, you know, it's one thing if it's 70 workers to 60 workers, but like,
No, you're absolutely right. You're absolutely right. And it does seem like Alex is starting to float a bit of those minerals, so maybe we won't see that advantage come into play immediately as he's just about to touch 1,000 minerals floating.
yeah.
Um, so to speak, he has an advantage, but he hasn't used it yet. He just threw it down 2 more barracks here. So he's starting to dig into that mineral stock that he has.
Turtle is doing a good job being active with his scouting. Um, Moving these Hellions around a lot, looking for the third base, like not forgetting to scout because he's playing an off race. So that's good. On his part, oh, here comes a turret by Alex's Raven.
Yeah, that turret is super annoying. He gets 5 workers. That's for free. That's for free,
Yeah.
Gauntlet.
Ooh, and into the natural. A few more
Okay,
SCVs.
so we see Ravens countering the Raven harass, but 8 more. Oh my god, 8 workers
Oh
have
man.
killed us.
So back in the main again, on top of it, so between the two, that was 10 SCVs. And so that's going to open up a 20 worker lead now
Yeah,
for Alex.
13 SCVs of our yellow Terran player were annihilated by a floating detector.
Yeah. And so that
We
means, like,
can
kind of like the
see.
last game, Tortle's gonna have to even it up. Like, it's not that he's dead, but the longer this goes on, the lower and lower his chances get.
Yeah,
So,
you're absolutely right.
yeah.
Alex Kidd, his only job this game is to continue to gain lead and continue to make sure that gap gets bigger and bigger between the two players. I'm sure he doesn't know exactly where the supplies are, but he can imagine how many kills he got from that Raven.
Yep. Basically, if nothing interesting happens from here on out, Alex can kind of sit back and just and coast until he builds up. But I think Tortle knows that. Here he comes.
Yeah. And normally, I would say Turtle should have a clear advantage if he's the one making the move. But unfortunately, you can see by the army supply that it is actually Alex who holds all the balls here.
Yeah.
He's got all the advantage. He's got the army supply. He's got the worker count. Excellent shutdown on the tank to move up in
Yeah.
here. And this might be actually the best fight Turtle could have taken.
Here come the SUVs.
But alas, it is not enough. And I think after a blow like that,
Yeah. And now, it looks like even the reinforcements are going to get picked off of Tortles. And that's probably going to be impossible to defend this counter push that Alex will have coming.
yes. I think what Turtle did was respectable. He just kind of, I don't know. He
Yeah.
shot himself in the foot with the opener. Just in the sense, like, it's not even too bad. It's just in the sense that if you want to go for something early like that, you might as well proxy it. You
That's
didn't have
true.
anything
Yeah.
wrong in mind. You just want to proxy it so you can go immediately.
Yeah, no, I thought Turtle like played pretty reasonably for, especially for playing an off race. I think it's just hard to like, when you're playing a mirror matchup against somebody's main, it's hard to like match them in a more of a three base game.
Absolutely. Yeah, he's not out of the game yet, but the supply difference is
Yeah.
quite substantial. I just think Alex Kidd doesn't realize how far ahead he is, so
Yeah. He's
we
in
do
a
see
move
him
and win
moving on.
territory.
He
Yeah.
is in a move and win territory, especially with the upgrades.
But it is Terran. I mean, Siege, if you horribly mismicro your army, something like that with siege tanks, things happen, but
think this Raven has enough energy for at least one one shutdown on the tank.
He is gonna run in, taking a lot of damage.
Shut one down. There's just way too much bio.
Yeah, it is too much though.
You need like 5 tanks to take out half that army.
A lot of this bio is super low though. Few good siege tank hits, but
they are very low. Again, if the supplies were a little closer,
yeah,
I wouldn't be counting anybody out. But
that is
Alex,
gonna be GG.
I would give Alex the advantage as soon as that the Raven harass kicked in. It just took out so much.
Oh, the Turtle's in the chat with us too here. Should have done something differently against Reaper Fast Expand. And he wanted his 3rd CC faster. Yeah, his 3rd CC did come in way after Alex's.
My advice after the game was you're supposed to go 3 CC if you go 3 Reaper 2 Hellion. Yeah, yeah. I can see that. It was unfortunate that when he moved out as well, I remember you calling out. I didn't even get to see it, but the Reaper had killed 2 SCVs, the one building the natural CC, and another one that was just down on the low ground, maybe putting up like supply depots. So it was a continuous kind of like battering away of the opponent.
Yeah.
And Alex wasn't even here to see it.
Ugh, damn you, Alex. He'll probably come back like right now. Let's see. The most recent game we have is looks like a ZVT. I think, or no, I think 11 is going random as well. So maybe, hang on, let me double check. We could do 11 versus Fan. I think that is a ZVT. You want to do one more?
Yeah, yeah.
Sounds
I can
good.
do one more. Yep.
Okay. So I'm gonna go ahead and grab that one. Which, by the way, for those of you guys who are here, we're actually working on going to announce it soon. But with the Cauldron and everything, I think we're going to try to merge the Cauldron and Wu-Tang together into kind of like one larger community. So be talking
Do,
about that more.
do I still get to cast for you?
Oh yeah, we're gonna like hopefully it'll be, there'll be more stuff going on, but I think we're gonna like rebrand it into a Legion thing.
All right.
Um
Yeah, yeah.
yeah, like still do kind of like the same concept of the Cauldron and Wu-Tang, like the same style of tournaments, but just kind of like have them under the same umbrella.
Okay. Yeah, yeah. No,
Yeah.
that's a good call.
But yeah, hopefully, like I don't think too much of the formatting or anything will change, but a lot of the naming and like hopefully we can help expand the tournament that way and stuff like that.
Sounds wonderful.
Yeah. Okay.
All right. So this time we have Fawn versus 11. You mentioned 11 was going random.
Yeah, I think he is going random. I couldn't remember if he was going random or Zerg. I think he went random. Let's go ahead and jump in. All right, you want to start us off?
In the top right hand side, we have our red Terran player representing his own clan. It is Fawn.
And in the bottom left-hand corner, the random player from Team Risen. It's 11, spawning in as Protoss. Ashes is a part of Risen. Found that out recently. Did not realize that.
Oh, okay, I understand.
Yeah. Fan I'm less familiar with, aside from Fan, of course.
I think I've seen. His name is very familiar, so I've definitely casted him once.
Yeah. Um, Fan has been like in the Cauldron off and on for a while now. I think since the first one, he just hasn't competed in like all of the monthlies. But yeah, he's been around for a while.
I'm trying to remember. 11 even sounds very familiar, but again, when you're casting tournaments,
Yeah.
I think I've casted both these players. I just don't remember their respective style.
11 also does a lot of stuff with I think it's VTL, um one of the team leagues, and so could have run across him there too. I think he helps with like some of the organizing and stuff like that.
Ah, all right. Well, at least it's not Merriman.
Yeah. Another random
So
player giving us no zergs.
yeah, so in context, 11 is the random player, but what is 11's main race?
Zerg.
Hmm. Okay, so he will master every race, no problem.
A little proxy going on here. South of
Well,
Fan's main.
why wouldn't you proxy? You're Protoss. You have
You
all
have
the
to.
advantage.
Oh, it's a proxy Stargate. Not gonna pull any punches here.
Is this one of those situations where an Oracle wins the game?
It might be. I mean, what like what's gonna get built in the meantime? Really, that's gonna be effective against this. Maybe he'll get enough Marines out, but is he gonna? I don't
Hmm.
know. Obviously, he's not
Well,
making any at the moment, but he.
this seems like more of a Void Ray build just because he's going for those shield batteries.
Okay, so he is gonna go get
Mm,
two Marines at a
It's
time.
actually it's actually even more devastating. I was I
Yeah.
was just I'm such a naive Protoss player that I would just make an Oracle, not absolutely kill my opponent, but just be like, Oracle's a good unit. But 11 seems to be going for the jugular.
Yeah. Okay, and the scout with this Reaper, he's gotta know that like something is amiss here. So he'll okay. Here comes the Void Ray.
Just I would have freaked out just not seeing the expansion itself.
Oh yeah.
So the funny thing is he's got two bunkers in the front, but the fight will never be in the front.
Yeah. You had no
Oh my
idea
god.
this was the cheese.
Yeah, the Void Ray is doing all it needs to do. The second Void Ray is out now, and unfortunately, I hate to call this game this early, but I'm gonna go ahead and call this game. Unless his pizza shows up and he needs to go get the door for like 5 6 minutes, I don't think Terran is in a good spot here. He
Yeah.
managed to pull all his boys. That is something to keep in mind. He hasn't lost his workers.
And you're right. These shield batteries make it so tough, like to do any kind of trading.
Yeah, and that's one of the most devastating parts. As soon as you think
Ooh.
you've done something, you might just get wrecked.
Almost gets
So
one Void Ray.
that was definitely one of the things that, as the Protoss, if you're the Protoss in the scenario, you never want to see any of your units even get below shield life. Like, you don't want it to go into the actual health. So
Cyclone
here's
goes
the
down.
micro. Oh my god, he's walking into a turret. The turret
Ooh.
absolutely crushes one of the full health Void Rays. So you could say that Fan had taken that engage in his advantage. 11 coming in again. Again, I don't know. Like, what could you do here? You need like 3 cyclones.
Man.
You need like 2 Vikings. And
Making a bunch more turrets. Wow.
there's two Stargates proxied out here. He's doubling down on this harassment.
Even the bunkers are going down. The stalkers are going to be walking in through the front.
And when you don't scout this type of harass, this type of attack,
And yeah, it's being forced to relocate his entire base at this point.
there's a little too much to micro and just not enough DPS, right?
Yeah.
You can see he's fighting like 4 Marines versus like the more I talk about it, the more ridiculous it will become. So let's just say the initial Void Ray that came in did so much, and by the time he realized what was going on, he already had 3-4 shield batteries in 2 different locations.
Yeah.
To be able to just continuously heal. And although it's 1 base versus 1 base, he's gonna need something amazing to be able to make it out of this. Something unheard of. They're gonna have to bring pre-patched cyclones back, like Wings of Liberty cyclones, and like they can produce 2 at a time without a reactor. Like that's what it's like.
Yeah, I think at this point he would need
Like even though we are seeing the end, 11 is playing very carelessly. He's losing.
Yeah, he is actually.
Which is quite bad. But again, if there was no damage done, we'd be like, oh my god, this is the worst Protoss ever. He's lost all his Void Rays. He's only got 3. But with the damage done, it really does not matter.
Yeah. No. Doing as much as he can with the Cyclone, but you're right. Losing the command center.
It hurts to see it, man. I've actually been on the Terran side. When I play off race and this happens to me and I get owned, I close my game. I say, okay, enough Terran for me. I'm gonna play Protoss.
The fan is just hanging on for dear life here.
Oh my god. The only thing that would add insult to injury would be if like 3 DT showed up and just walked into the world. Oh my goodness.
Fan strategizing.
On the wall, Belmox. This is just. I feel for my boy. Fan. He's got a heart of a lion. He's still
Yeah. Although
microing his heart out.
11's now down to 12 army supply, and he's losing. Well, okay, Fan just lost his Cyclone. I mean,
12 army supply is still better than 0.
Yeah.
GG. Very strong build from 11.
Almost looked like
because it wasn't scouted.
Yeah, it almost looked like 11 wanted to let him back in there at the end.
I wish that happened. I wish we saw the most epic comeback, but you know what? Void Rays with shield batteries it's a recipe for just death.
So good job by 11 there, doing what it takes to eke out the win with his off race, playing random. Okay, let's do it.
Let's do it.
Game number 2. This one on Submarine. Looks like they played this game late night. Okay. I'll start us. So, spawning into the bottom right-hand corner, representing Team Fan, it's our Red Terran Fan.
And in the top left-hand side, it is our blue Protoss player representing Team Ashes. It is 11.
It's 11 getting Protoss again.
You know what? At this point, it's lucky.
Yeah, I mean, I guess.
If he's
I
doing
mean,
this with Protoss, Zerg would be just
yeah.
too OP.
But I think the problem, like, if you're in 11's position here, is like, I don't know. I wonder if he knows enough
Like
PvT
another build.
cheeses. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, it's like, yeah, if he doesn't know another build. I mean, you'd be surprised how well just the max packs can work in a situation like this.
Yeah.
So obviously, Fan playing a little bit more conservatively. I doubt he's gonna go for the CC first. Not after that game.
No, not after that game. You'd have to have balls of steel to do something like that.
Okay, so no proxy yet, just this regular scout. It looks like he's poising to put down a Nexus. He does.
So it's not going to be any one-day shenanigans. Um, maybe not even a proxy. If Fan has his SCV here at this third, almost like he wants to drop it there, but that would no, that's not
That'd
gonna
be
happen.
wicked. That'd be unheard
Yeah,
of.
that'd be what? Yeah.
That'd be wild. It'd be the new meta if it worked. Immediately, Korean GMs are all just throwing their third down at 4 minutes.
Zerg players just jealous, you know. Watching a Terran take their third before us against Protoss. Okay, so 11's going for a robo play here. I mean, I'm kind of expecting some sort of just two base, you know,
That's so funny. What if it was like a fake out? He's like, I'm gonna put it down at super early command center. This adept finds a poor marine holding the wall.
yeah, chases the Marine out of his own base.
I don't think the Hellion can win this either. I'm
Yeah.
not too sure if that's. Oh!
Oh, wow.
The adept attacked the CC, so the Hellion got the last pop off. Excellent. Already a spicy
That's
start to this
teamwork.
match.
Reaper does find its way into 11's base. Gets a good scout, sees the Immortal pop out. Sees these gateways up here, so I mean, Fan should have a pretty solid idea of what's about to come his way, I think. 5 gateways in a robo.
That's a lot of gates. This looks like.
Yeah.
This seems very aggressive.
Yeah. And I'm definitely not surprised to see that there's a lot of different strong 2-base all-ins from Protoss. Would not be surprising 11 playing random here to do something like that.
Yeah.
Now, does he have a Warp Prism?
I feel like he's. It must.
No.
No, he's not even making it.
Interesting.
I'm worried about Fan because he just started making his third CC.
Ooh.
All he's got is a bunch of Marines.
Okay, well, maybe not having the Warp Prism will be kind of a gift for Fan. I don't know.
It is. Yeah,
Yeah.
No, I agree, absolutely. He has no high ground vision here yet, so this tank up here is going to be work. Okay, the tank
Oh, man.
is actually going to town on these his units, and I
Yeah,
think 11 is thrown his advantage there.
that was pretty rough. A definite miss micro ones.
Just way too many hits. Like a tank should pop off. Okay, one,
Yeah,
maybe two, but by then you should be like, okay, the map doesn't make sense. I gotta get the hell out of here.
right. Pretty sure he lost 2 stalkers in that little exchange.
You know what? The good thing was for 11 that he did not lose the immortal, because that could have
Right.
been just target fired down by Marines, but he was just fighting overall a move.
Okay, so instead of the warp prism, just using the good old-fashioned pylon, and that gives him a chance to make this shield battery, so that might give this attack a little more staying power.
You know what? That's the threat of it in itself is just it, like now he has a CC which he made, which really can't get used besides flame duels.
Going for the siege tank, has the vision of it with an observer, and he gets it.
Excellent play. Yeah. And there's more stalkers than marines here. It looks like.
Wow. And just like
And
that.
we see Fan forced to pull away, forced to relocate.
Oh,
He's taken his family. He's a refugee yet again.
the hero siege tank, pushing 11 back for now. That siege tank is so critical.
Yeah.
Targeting it down now. Oh, and
Oof.
it does go down.
Yeah,
Needs.
unfortunately, he doesn't know that the observer is. I mean, I'm sure he
Oh,
knows, but he can't do
yeah.
anything.
Oh man, loses one mine and the other one does definitely not get the optimal hit, only takes out 1 stalker.
Yeah. Our friend Fan. You know what the thing is, though, Volnox? This
What's
is a
that?
very. The game didn't seem that weird to me because this is. Like, I have two friends. One plays Terran, one plays Protoss. And my Terran friend likes to go for macro builds, and my Protoss friend likes to just go all in. And for some reason, every now and then, my Terran friend decides, I'm going to go macro this game. And just gets absolutely crushed just in these sorts of situations where you should have just been making a defensive army, something that could just wipe anything that comes to your side of the map. Um, but you go down in not so hot a fashion.
Yeah.
But GG, well played. I've been there. I'm sure if
Yeah.
Volnox you faced Protoss as a Terran, it's a very dangerous world to live in. Like you could die to a lot of things.
Oh yeah. No, and like I said, I'm kind of impressed. Like, so we have four players playing random in this tournament. I don't think I
Mm.
would. I don't know. It's pretty brave to me.
Yeah, I can't. I
That
can't.
makes me so
Depending on what the
anxious.
tournament setting is, I mean, even in a best of three, like you could almost overly scout, right? And if you're
Yeah.
not overly scouting, at least you have like I don't care. Send a marine out on the map. Sit it, sit it right outside your opponent's base, so you at least have an idea when the push is on the way. It's just small things like that might I don't know, not necessarily save you, but at least tell you that death is on the way, right?
Yeah.
And I feel like he didn't get a chance to do anything until the attack was at his front.
So let's see. I don't know how much time you have. Do you want to stop there? Do you want to do one more series? Do you need a break or anything? How are you feeling?
Uh, I might have to call it there just because I
Okay.
have to be up a little earlier tomorrow.
Yeah,
But
I hear you.
if you have plans to continue like sometime this week, it could be even tomorrow night or whatever, just let me know.
Yeah, well, definitely on Saturday night we have the
Yep.
Crucible, the bi-weekly. Um, I was gonna see maybe you and Flapjack if you guys want to cast that, that would be awesome, and I can kind of like organize the matches since it's live. get people ready for you. Um,
Got it. Yep.
maybe we can do something like that, like we kind of used to. I feel like it does go smoother with somebody organizing who's not actually casting and can help you guys out.
Oh, it for sure
So
helps. It
I'd
for
be
sure
down to do
helps.
that.
Saturday night.
But yeah, so
Yeah,
just let me
yeah.
know
We'll talk.
if,
We'll chat.
yeah,
No worries.
if you are free, that'd be awesome. If not, no worries. And this is for you guys, if you haven't signed up yet, Wizard, I don't think I see you on there. Ultra, if you want to get back into things, man. Ultra, one of my buddies who has played in the Cauldron before, hasn't in a while. Good to see you, man. But
Yeah,
thanks.
hop
Yeah,
in the tourney. Don't be scared. If you join, I'll join. I'll meet you in the finals.
yeah, Shivy, you too,
And
man.
I'll cast it too. I'll cast while I play. So I'm
Yeah.
holding this. I'm gonna wreck Wizard with this.
No, you can't play if you're casting, but we have to at least get you into the next monthly then.
Yeah, no, I'll jump in somewhere.
Yeah, yeah,
There's always tourneys happening. I'll
yeah,
have to get back into form.
yeah, man. Well, thanks for casting with me tonight, dude. Always appreciate it.
Thanks for having me, man. It was a pleasure. I wish I don't know. It just we usually do like 4 or 5 hours cast, so this was like I was like, oh, we're done. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Um, but you know what? Because I have to be up tomorrow morning, I will have to bow out. Otherwise, I would have gone all night with you,
No,
man.
it's okay. So like on Thursday nights, I like to just do a couple hours of the replays like every Thursday. So that way it's not too, kind of a consistent thing I try to do, but not for too long though. Like just maybe two max like 3 hours. That way it's not like we don't get burnt out or anything like that.
Fair enough. Fair enough. Sounds good. No, this
Yeah,
was perfect. To
thanks,
be
Ultra.
honest, it was a nice and sweet cast. Yeah, I think it was just enough to flex the old casting muscles. Get ready for the weekend.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. Yeah, no, I'm looking
Oh,
forward to Saturday. Ghost had his tournament recently, and that was a lot of fun. Did that. That was just 2 nights ago, I think. Um,
yeah, I caught a bit of that. Ghost
yeah,
always has some
I
rad
finally
tourneys
came.
on.
Yeah, I won like the first tournament he did, and I finally
You won the
won that
last one.
one. Yeah, I won that one the other night.
Congrats.
Um, I
Hold
got
on,
pretty lucky.
what rank are you right now? I should just check actually. Where are
Diamond
you
two.
right now?
Yeah,
Where are
Diamond
you
two.
sitting? Oh,
Dude,
oh, Knox, what's going on? What is? We'll talk about it off stream. Don't.
let me show everyone. This is what he's talking about. So this is.
What's Knox?
This.
What's happening?
I mean,
Why are you in the red, bro?
it's so swingy. Like, let me show you guys. Look at this losing streak. I go on like these long winning streaks and then long losing streaks. I don't know. I'm like I just have the
I'll
bipolar
stop.
ladder disorder. I don't know.
No, no, you're fine. I'll
So
stop trying to be. I'll stop trying to be like a macho man. Go ahead and hit my. Go ahead and hit mine.
okay.
Go to game types and just put in 1v1,
Ooh,
and you
you're
can
looking.
see when my last. No, 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 no. Don't say that. Look at when my last ranked game was. Right.
Uh,
But you can see when I play ranked, I play it like once or twice, like 2 matches, 3 matches, and if I lose 2 times, I bow out. Like that's
yeah.
I have a rule. I have a hard and fast rule: 2 losses and I'm out. Because I don't play that much, right? Like I don't put
Right,
as much
right.
time as I would like to
Oh, you're
these
right.
days.
Yeah. You
But because of that, I'm sitting at 38.
yeah. Yeah, you don't
And
usually take a bunch of losses in a row. It's more
I I
like you
leave.
said.
I just get
Yeah.
out of there.
You only have like one, and it's over the course of 2 days actually. So yeah, yeah, you really don't. That's
Yeah.
smart. I need to start doing stuff like that, like, because
Cause
that's
I can. It's a personal thing. I know when I'm falling into my own trap at that point, right? Like I'm either too tired. Like I'll call it. I'll be like, "How'd that last game?" Like if I felt like the last game was very close or I had a good chance, I know. Like if you were playing well and somebody was just better than you. But then there's
yeah,
games where it's like that was hot garbage. I'm going to bed. You know what I mean? Like that's it.
Oh yeah.
But no, we should practice sometime because your ZVZ is much better than mine will be, and I need some ZVZ practice.
Oh yeah. Well, I need to practice too, man. So I'm definitely down for that. ZVZ is
Okay, perfect.
scary.
I need some people to play with, man. All
Yeah.
my friends are like everybody on my friends list is now like masters or GM because I've been casting too many tourneys. Can't play with my friends anymore.
That's how I feel too. I was making some, not from casting too many tourneys, but just like from not getting on the ladder and like not really practicing, just like not
Yeah,
making any progress for a few months is a
that's
little discouraging. But I haven't really been like, put my
yeah.
shoulder into it or anything, so I can't really complain. But
You know what the beauty of it is, though? Hopefully, fingers crossed, guys. Everybody knock on wood right now. Hopefully, StarCraft is a lifelong game and
yeah,
Blizzard doesn't do some bullshit with it like they did Warcraft 3 and just kill the ladder or something like that. And
yep,
like 15 years down the line, I'll still boot up my computer and I'll be like, you know what? I want to play some StarCraft 2, you know?
yeah, a lifelong game like golf or croquet or
Yeah,
StarCraft,
or chess, whatever,
the
right? Like it's one of those
gentleman's
staples.
games. Yeah.
Exactly. It's a gentleman's game. Excellent way to put it, Volnox. And I think right there on that note, I'll let you close this out.
Sounds good, man. Thanks again, brother.